くごらん汚くみすぼらしいそれゆえにしやように避けられてしまう光は闇暁のいざない逃れて惹かれ合う白と黒の華麗なペネリズム闇は光同列の進化を訪ねて街にある全土地へのオペラがって答えは有限本当の質疑応答よ寡黙な声を聞け全員を鳴らすべきだ何も語らぬ者に選ぶ道はない神だ悪魔だと答えがまばらなのはまさしくあらがう声かけるせいだろう密かな感情が鼓膜破って冷たい歴史語り出す瞳を尖らせて全て受け入れ己の壁消化せよ疑い見つけ出せ信じ抜き選び出せとあり後の世は悲しみと喜びに溺れてるラベリだ光は闇暁のいざない逃れて惹かれ合う白と黒の華麗なペネリズム闇は光同列の進化を訪ねて街にある全土地へのオペラがって答えは有限本当の質疑応答よ
Well, good afternoon to you, chat. Happy weekend. I think I'd like to start off talking about some, I don't know, regionality. Because we've been covering this now for almost 5 weeks. 5 weeks since this has been started. Well, earlier, really, if you started at the origin of what's going on with the disease. But I'm talking about the response, the attitude and the nothing burgerness out there. When it was just confined to China, you got a certain kind of response from people. It's very, very nationalistic, very patriotic. Xi Jinping is going to save us all. China knows what it's doing. It's got it under control. This is a nothing burger. These numbers will burn themselves out. It's only confined to Wuhan. But as it spread internationally, as it started to pop up all over the place, moving into the United States, bringing us to where we are today, a little stream I like to call the Red Coast. Why is it called the Red Coast? Because we've got infected all over the Red Coast. California, Oregon, and Washington. And I've seen a shift take place from that international flavor of a nothing burger. Delicious. into a more megapede-like nothing burger. Got a lot of Q boomers out there that are real ass blasted. The people are talking about this. They politicized it. Both sides have, really. Trying to make this some kind of an issue between Democrats and Republicans rather than what it is, which is our girl, Corona Chan. Just curb stomping the earth like it's a fucking game. And boy, do we have some developments. I mean, we could start with quite a few developments, but let's talk about the death that happened in the United States. Oh my God, it was tragic. Did you watch Trump get up on national television and start off by saying, "Thank you to the American people for your blood and treasure. I'm going to be meeting with the Taliban leadership." Awesome. Good way to start a disease press conference. I don't know what the fuck that was, but okay. All right, it's a bizarre opening, but we can roll with it. That's fine. That's fine. Let's get to the good stuff. And then he told us a tragic tale of the beautiful woman from Washington State that tragically died to the disease. There's a minor problem, just a teeny tiny problem when it comes to that particular hot take. I'll just read you an article to give you an idea of what exactly might have been the terrible problem with that in particular. Where are we here? Here we go. Trump misidentifies first coronavirus fatality in U.S. as a woman. Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? Turns out that beautiful woman that tragically died in Washington happened to be a dude. Happened to be a guy. Had a little bit of meat swinging in between his legs. Easy mistake to make. I mix up vaginas and penises all the time. They're confusing. Really, if you were to draw two of them, one on the left side, one on the right side, up on a blackboard, I couldn't tell the difference. Innie, outie. It's like belly buttons, right? That's how genitals work. They all look the same to me. Tragically beautiful woman that tragically died. How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up and get up on stage and then act like you have any authority to talk on them? I really trust it. I feel more confident now. He's got all the info. Who told him that? Was that the CDC? Was that his buddy Reinfeld that just came up there and said, "Hey, Redfield, whatever the fuck his name is, the fat dude"? Was it the fat dude that said it was a woman? Maybe Mike Pence is having a giggle. He's like, "Hey guys, watch this. I'm going to tell Trump it's a chick that died." He's going to get up on stage and say that. It's going to be funny as fuck. And then he's going to be so mad afterwards, he's not going to know what to do. Or maybe Trump dead named the victim. Maybe she transitioned into a beautiful male, and he just he couldn't let it go. He had to own the libs. Trigger the libs with that one. I don't know. But here we are. He's really had a fucking shit week, hasn't he? Trump gets up on television, basically tells you it's a nothing burger. That's the line that's being generated around the fucking world. We've heard that from every government. The Chinese, it's a nothing burger. The Iranians, it's a nothing burger. The Americans, it's a nothing burger. As more and more people get sick and cities get locked down and international trade and finance is crushed. It's the flu. Oh, that one's come back. Eugene Gu must be doing cartwheels up and down the fucking street right now with the amount of people saying, "It's just a flu, bro. The flu is so much more dangerous. Don't you understand?" I also like the obscure death rate comparisons. Did you know that you could die? More people die per year getting electrocuted by microwave ovens that get dropped into the ocean that have died from the coronavirus. All right, did you not read this article? Trust the plan! Oh, we'll get around to some of those. Mr. Bill Mitchell. Oh, financial advice of a genius. He's a god among men, might I say. Can't wait to talk about his fucking brilliant insight into shit. But let's take a look at the reality of what's going on. Just this nothing burger that sustained itself for 5 fucking weeks and is in, 52 countries now? All over the goddamn world. How many countries is this fucking thing in? I haven't even updated this picture. It's already old. Just in the hour of me getting some minor stuff prepared for this stream, this is outdated. That's how many fucking countries it's in. It's completely in Ireland now. Not just North Ireland, Ireland proper as well. So you've got the majority of Europe. Eastern Europe's got a little bit of a breather. It won't last for long. Luxembourg got hit today because they're completely surrounded by koofers. Mongolia probably has people on horseback monitoring the fucking borders. I don't know how they're holding it off. Our boy Kimmy Kim up in North Korea just basically threatening the disease itself. If any disease gets in here, there will be dire consequences. I'm almost certain that he's telling people he's going to. Uh-oh. Are you kidding me? Oh, we had a minor drop there, folks. I don't think they like it when I make fun of them. Oh. Oh. Oh boy. Hopefully that didn't show up too much there. A little bit of hiccup there. That's fine. Rather a hiccup than a coof, can I say? We got our boy Kimmy Kim over there in North Korea, who I'm almost certain is threatening nuclear annihilation to any nation that that gets him sick. Dire consequences. I almost wonder if he's going to go to war with the virus itself, just airburst a nuke, hoping to take Corona Chan out. I don't even know. How the fuck am I supposed to know? All I do know, looking at this godforsaken map of plague, is that if you played Plague Inc., this is basically victory. Really, it's just Madagascar and Greenland. If you get those, you got everybody. It's on every continent. There's nothing. How are you going to stop it? How do you stop this? Algeria, Egypt, Nigeria. Nice distribution around Africa. We've got Ecuador and Brazil. Good distribution around South America. It's in Mexico, so it'll make its way to Central America. Eastern Europe's fucked eventually. The rest of the Middle East is fucked. Turkey, Syria, you're going to get hit. Mongolia, you can't hold out for long. Good luck, though. Laos, I don't even know what they're doing. Maybe they have magic powers or something. They've held it off for a while at this fucking point. Tajikistan and all the Kyrgyzstans, I can't pronounce any of them. It's that little middle white part there. Are 4 countries that I'll never pronounce properly because I'm American and we're fucking retarded at geography. But it's everywhere. And that's in the span of, I think, to everywhere in a week. Nearly 25 nations have been added this last week, and it just keeps continuing. Now I've got to do a regional map as we follow which states go to shit on us one by one. But let's talk about. Oh, I think my pets are protecting me from the disease. Let's talk about the horrible shit that's gone on this week. Let's talk about the Dow. Oh, what a beautiful week that's been. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but negative numbers aren't good, right? When it goes red, that's a bad thing. Nearly 4,000 point drop over the course of 5 days. International markets all fucked up. Of course, I'm not a financial wizard. When I look for my investment guidance, I turn to my big boy Bill here. And this is Bill back on the 26th. I swear to God, if you listen to his advice, you lost a lot of fucking money. As I said yesterday, the coronavirus scare, hashtag, just gave the big boys a chance to take some profits and short the market for a few days. The fundamentals for our economy remain strong by the dips. So he saw a momentary turnaround and thought, oh, that's a big boy game. That's a big boy money right there. Everybody reinvest. Buy the dips. We're going back up. It's green. By the way, from the point that he tweeted that, it sank 2,500 points. Bill Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen, a fucking financial guru. You should really follow his advice when it comes to how to invest your fucking money because he knows what he's talking about. Brilliant, man. But why would the markets be reacting like this? Remember, it's just the flu, bro. It's not a big deal. Maybe it's a China factory index hitting record fucking lows, plummeting like a fucking stone to the bottom of a lake. The fact that their manufacturing capabilities and their part in the global supply chain is so fucked, it's going to take a lot longer to get back to regular than you could possibly imagine. How do I know that? Let's take a look at how I know that. Let's look at their pollution first of all. Here's a comparison from 2019 compared to 2020 using NASA imagery. You notice the difference in the pollution levels? You want to know why that pollution levels are so fucking remarkably different? Because nobody's doing anything. Nobody's working in factories. Nobody's out on the roads. I think it's 40% of coal plants just aren't doing anything right now. It's locked the fuck down. Greta must be really happy right now. This is why she never had to deal with China. Maybe she released the virus to fix global warming. We'll never know. But analysts taking a look at the China pollution and then coming up with some interesting ideas. Nomura, which is a Japanese bank that's been monitoring the situation, The Baidu Migration Index suggests that only 37 and 33% of people that left Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities for the Lunar New Year have returned, versus the 100% last year. Just a 70% drop, and that's from Morgan Stanley. But according to Nomura, the workers' return rate for 15 cities was 25% as of February 19th, only a quarter of what was recorded a year ago. So what all these financial institutions are saying is nobody's going back to work. Nobody wants to leave their house. They don't want to return to their fucking city. Now, maybe that's because they're welded into a fucking cage right now. I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is, based on the pollution levels and the assessments from all these different financial institutions, it looks like that 85% figure is complete bullshit that Xi Jinping was telling people when he said 85% of the factories are back at capacity. Because that's so far from reality. It's not even a lucid dream. I don't know. You're drinking some kind of concoction that will cause brain damage to come to that fucking conclusion. I'd like to welcome you to the Corona economy, where just-in-time delivery in a global supply chain, in a globalized world financial structure, bites you in the ass. Where shipping things back and forth to get a product completed and then delivered to the customer is now a problem when half the world's not going to go to work or pick up a package or make an order. And we haven't even gotten to the period of time yet where paranoia sets in. See, right now it's just they're incapable of making the shit that you want to buy or shipping the stuff to each other. But wait till this spreads a little bit more. Wait till a few kids get really sick, or a couple of parents drop dead in the street. Wait till you see the first video of a fat fucking American falling face first in the street, dead. Then you're going to reach paranoia buying. And it's not going to be people wanting to order shit from China. They're going to avoid that shit like the plague. You remember how there was a health fad for a while where fat people started reading about calories and sugar content on the back of their food? They're going to be doing that. They're going to be looking for little stickers to see where shit was made. This is coming from Italy? This is coming from Iran? Is this coming from China, South Korea, Japan? I don't want to buy that. I want American made. Just a little pro tip too for you out there that are trying to use this strategy. Just know there's a city in China called America. So if you buy something that says made in America, make sure it's not America, China, and it's actually America, America. Because they're going to get you with that one. But it's not just China. Other people are reporting. Coronavirus fallout spreads to manufacturers in the U.S. heartland. More than 40% of manufacturers across a swath of America's heartland reported negative effects from the coronavirus, adding to growing concerns about the economic impact of the disease globally, according to a survey released Thursday by the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. That is your just-in-time delivery. This is not going to be unfucked in a week or a month or a few months. Even if this disease disappeared with the snap of a finger by tomorrow, just to fix the fuck up in the manufacturing and distribution that's gone on is going to take months. And the markets might bounce back a little bit, and that little bunny hop's going to go right down a goddamn pit eventually. You have the FDA releasing statements saying that 20 manufacturers of brands of medications in the United States are at risk of not receiving their supplies because we receive raw components to make those medicines, 88% of them from outside of the country. So the ingredients and the drugs themselves are coming from other places. I believe 14 or 15% come from China directly. And already the FDA followed that up by saying, we're pretty sure one drug in particular is going to have a bit of a shortage. We're working on that, contacting numerous different manufacturers trying to find a workaround. Meanwhile, the FDA won't tell you what those drugs are. So good luck. Good luck if you've got a heart condition or your cancer, or if nobody knows what the fuck it is. Is it a prescription drug, FDA? Is it an over-the-counter drug? What is it exactly? Maybe give us a heads up so we know, so that people can prep ahead of time, so they can prepare themselves to maybe not get the medicine they might crucially need because the distributor can't deliver what is needed to make the goddamn medication. So the financial markets and the manufacturing sector are all fucked up right now, which kind of makes me think it's not a nothing burger. Kind of makes me think that things are not looking great for the world as a whole at the moment. But again, I'm not an expert on these things. For that, we'd have to go to our boy, Big Boy Bill Buy the Dip Mitchell, that's gonna be his saying for the next fucking 8 months. The market could go down to zero and he'd be telling you to buy the dip. A meteor could crash right into the heart of the planet, setting off a chain reaction that kills all life. And as the firewall is approaching Bill Mitchell's house, he will be tweeting out, buy the dip. That's what Bill... There could be a fucking 12.0 earthquake, unheard of. I don't even know if it's fucking possible. Yellowstone could erupt, shooting off plumes of ash into the air, and Bill Mitchell would be saying, this is a nothing burger, buy the dip. These men worship the market. Absolutely worship the economy like it's a god. And the effects, we've seen the effects on numerous sporting events, on numerous business events. Here's one for the gamers out there that might want to rise up. GDC, done. Canceled. Officially canceled this year. That's after numerous people pulled out. And Sony itself has pulled out of more events than just GDC. They don't want to go to PAX. They don't want to go to E3. And you can expect more companies to follow suit. And a lot of these cancellations that are coming up, they're not just for February or for March. They go into April, they go into May, they go into June. You know, when Singapore was tracing down the cluster of exposure, when they looked at that super spreader, that British guy that went to France and then to other parts of Europe and then back to the UK, that guy got traced all the way back to a business convention, a business meeting. Our scout leader friend, of course, scout leader in Southeast Asia, our scout leader friend in a Singapore business meeting. Because these conventions are breeding grounds for it. When you do international travel, you spread it all over the place. We saw France pay the price for this. France, after Italy announced that new cases were exploding, what did France say? We're not going to close our borders. And where do we sit today? Italy now has infected, 15 countries? And Iran has infected 11. Maybe shut the fucking borders and turn the planes away. But no, they wanted to be multicultural and diverse, accepting about this, and believe in the global human family or whatever bullshit. I don't know exactly what the brilliant logic behind it was, but instead of shutting the fucking border, immediately after this, France sees an explosion in cases coming from Italy. So our pasta-loving brethren have been giving the gift all over Europe, and Iran has been giving the gift all over the Middle East, to the point that the Saudis have shut down some of the holiest sites in Islam. Because at least they have the common sense to know that that is a fucking disaster waiting to happen. Now, I don't know if Jerusalem is going to close down the Wailing Wall. Are the Catholics going to shut down St. Petersburg Square? I don't know. But it might be something to consider. Do you really want to create large public gatherings where disease can spread easily? They're already starting to see the benefits of maybe not having huge gatherings, as certain countries are announcing limitations on the size that can be put together. Anything over 5,000, I believe in France, is a no-go now. 4,999 is that much safer. That one less dude is going to make the world's difference. But at least it's something. It's more than what was before. This world is run by idiots. Good case in point. Let's talk about the press conference with Trump today. Now, he had his little virologist guy, and I do mean little. Oh, he's the tiny little dude. Now, I mean, to be fair, Trump is like 7 feet tall. I can't remember the guy's name exactly, but he's like Oompa Loompa sized. Like, if you put Ben Shapiro next to this dude, Ben Shapiro would look like a giant. And he got up there and he said something I found really interesting. There is no reinfection. Bullshit. You can't say that with a serious face. And I'm going to show you why. So let's go through the idea of reinfection or the disease simply not leaving you. Let's look at some news articles. You tell me. Okay, they want to use morbidity and mortality and all this stuff. They want to take the numbers from China and the data from China and say it's acceptable. Well, if you're going to take that, you got to take it all. And taking all of it means you take all of it. Let's look. Coronavirus. Wuhan to quarantine all cured patients for another 14 days after some test positive again. Decision follows several instances in which recovered patients were found to still be carrying the virus and able to infect others. From Guangdong, 14% of recovered coronavirus patients in China's Guangdong tested positive again. From Jingzhou, first confirmed COVID case in Jingzhou, again tested positive after discharge from hospital 2 weeks prior. His daughter also tested positive after recovery. The two of them are now back in the hospital and they're hospitalized for a second go-around. But it's not just China. In Ontario, a couple have recovered but are still testing positive for coronavirus after they had to do fecal swabs and they found the virus still present for weeks after their recovery period. Well, let's look at South Korea. South Korean woman reinfected with coronavirus after recovery. Not just South Korea either. Let's go over to Japan. Japan confirms first case of person reinfected with coronavirus. The reinfection has health officials worried the illness could stay dormant after signs of recovery. China, Canada, South Korea, Japan. I'm almost fairly 100% certain this happened for Israel too. One of the people that went through quarantine and a recovery period ended up getting the fucking disease again. So it's really one of two things. You get it and it doesn't go away, or you get it and you get reinfected easily. 14% of cases, they're saying in Guangdong, are getting reinfected. They're seeing examples of it in South Korea, Japan, and potentially the Ontario one. So for him to get up on television and say, reinfection's bullshit. No, once you get rid of the virus, you're good to go. No, not true. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's a dangerous thing to get up there and say, especially if you're going to spout off Chinese numbers at me. If you're going to give me Chinese data and act like that's accurate, you fucking take all of it. You don't helpfully leave out portions of it to make it so people don't panic. Because, we got to protect the markets, right? That's what we have to protect. Fuck the American people. I need my markets to recover. It's ridiculous. I'm watching a press conference on a fucking health crisis, and the first thing I hear is blood and treasure and a fucking Taliban. And then I'm told, I swear to God, I'm not making it up. This poor, beautiful woman that died in Washington, really tragic. By the way, Apple tells me iPhones are back on the market. Hooray. Get your fucking priorities straight. What is going on? And it's not, I don't want to make it seem like this is just America. Every fucking country is doing this. They're late every time. They're always behind when it comes to mitigation and control. And I'd also really love just one journalist in the world who gets a chance when you get to call in on the World Health Organization telepress conference or the Center for Disease Control telepress conference. Please ask the following. You've said multiple times that China's ability to control this was instrumental in stopping its spread, and that based on that, you believe we can control it as well. What portion exactly of how China handled this do you believe we should implement? Are you saying that forced quarantine camps and welding people in their apartment is the way that the American government wants to take it? I'd love to see one of those fuckers answer that question. I'd love to see the response to that. Just give it to me. Throw the answer back to me so I can know where we're going with that. Reinfection is impossible. Bullshit. I don't know if it's reinfection. I don't know if this thing goes dormant. I don't know what it does. But you know what I've come to the conclusion on? They don't know either. They've had 2 months to fucking play with this thing. They've got the whole sequence of the goddamn thing. They've got it modeled and fucking printed out and put in a poster on their wall. And they still don't know how the fucking thing operates. So it just bothers me to hear them say low risk. Well, you can't tell me it's low risk if you don't know how it fucking functions and operates in a population. You know, this idea of trying to sell it to the American people of, well, young people are going to be fine. I've seen Bill Mitchell and others really put this forward, and I want you to get this into your mind of what they're actually saying. Young people will be fine. If you're 20 or 30 or 40, you're fine. Which is, again, untrue because 20, 30, and 40-year-olds do die. But if you're 20, 30, and 40, you're fine. It's just the old people that die. So is that the campaign slogan going into 2020? Vote Trump, you only have to bury your parents? Are you going to tell a bunch of 30 and 40-year-olds that, don't worry, you'll live through it, but you'll have to, bury mom and dad and grandpa and grandma? What a horrible fucking thing to say. What a retarded thing to say. You know, the case in Oregon we have is a teacher that may have infected students, and the case in Washington we have is a student that may have infected other students. So they're young, they're healthy. Let's say they don't have any of the, comorbidities that might play a part in it, like obesity and diabetes and all this other shit. Let's say they're just healthy young kids, they're fine. They get it, they get the sniffles, they're fine. Except mom and dad live with them. How old are mom and dad? What shape are mom and dad in? So the kids get it, they recover from it, they spread it to mom and dad get sick, they get sent off to a coof camp. Now who's taking care of the kids? we've looked at one aspect of this, of how are the hospitals going to handle the surge? Are they going to be able to handle having a bunch of people in the ICU if it really starts to spread? Here's a better question. Is social services going to be able to handle taking care of all these fucking kids that are going to be stuck home alone when mom and dad have to go to the hospital? Who's going to look after them? You going to tell little Timmy and Becky, best of luck, here's a can of tuna, see you in a fucking month? It just feels like there's no game plan within the United States on what anybody's going to do. And if you look at each state's press conference individually, they're telling you more than the federal level is telling you. In Washington, they told people in their press conference, you need to have a pandemic preparedness plan. In Minnesota, they said the same fucking thing. They said it on the 24th of, what is that, 5 days ago now. Oregon even briefly touched on this. So each of the individual states is basically saying, yeah, you better get ready, shit's coming. And yet at the federal level, we're told, no, it's not a big deal. No, it's not. You guys need to relax. You even have the Surgeon General parroting what was said in the press conference today. Seriously, people, stop buying masks. They're not effective in preventing general public from catching coronavirus. But if healthcare providers can't get them to take care of sick patients, it puts our communities at risk. What kind of supply chain are we looking at here in the United States where the fucking Surgeon General needs to run out to a hardware store to buy masks for the doctors? You're telling people they can't buy consumer goods because you can't get the back end of your distribution working? Am I supposed to understand that hospitals and clinics around this country are so inept and fucked when it comes to procuring protective equipment that they're going to have to go to the local Walmart to do it? And I also like this, it's kind of like a backhand right to your face if you're a stupid American. You're too dumb, pleb. You little peon, you're too stupid to use a mask. That's for the doctors. You go out there and you let them coof in your mouth. You let them spit right in your mouth. You're going to like it. Oh, you like getting coofed on, don't you? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I really want to listen to the Surgeon General tell me I don't need a mask when the fucking health department pulls this shit. U.S. workers without protective gear assisted coronavirus evacuees, HHS whistleblower says. Does it ever end with this fucking country? Our Surgeon General's telling you don't protect yourself. The health workers that were designated to work with the evacuees from the Diamond Princess and overseas weren't wearing protective gear. The Center for Disease Control can't make a fucking test that works. In fact, they sent broken tests with a bad reagent out to about 12 states that gave false results. They had to send the goddamn test kits back. How do you fuck up on that level? These are multiple government organizations. It's not one. That's 3 of them that have been fucking up. Don't protect yourself. We'll protect ourselves, though. Apparently not. And then here's our test kit, which doesn't work. That'll be $3,500 plus tip, please. I heard they're even charging the evacuees now for the fucking flight and the hospitalization quarantine. Oh, that's great. A international health crisis breaks out. You get brought back by the U.S. military, and they charge you fucking $50,000 for it. Maybe you should have just let the virus take you. Let's look at how the Brits are preparing for it. They must have a sunny disposition on this. New. I understand the Cabinet Office has been in communication with local authorities about, I love the name of this, excess death contingency planning. Effectively, their mass death preparedness plans in the event of a coronavirus being at the upper end of worst. I'm told the topic of the Cabinet Office local authority discussions include potential and new, perhaps mass burial sites. White Hill sources emphasize such discussions or instructions are uncommon but not unprecedented. For example, in 2009 with the swine flu outbreak. The Cabinet Office spokesman told Newsnight, "We've been clear from the outset that we expect coronavirus to have some impact on the UK, which is why we're planning for every eventuality, including the reasonable worst-case scenario." So, over in merry old Bongland, they're debating how big a pit to dig to bulldoze your asses into. This doesn't really inspire the greatest confidence, does it? I say, Nigel, how big should we make the pit? I don't know. Do you have a license for that pit? Are you prepared for the pit, Nigel? How deep did we make it? Oh, what a nightmare. What an absolute clusterfuck of a nightmare. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, good stuff. Oh, if it couldn't get any crazier, let's talk about crazy incarnate. Let's talk about Shinji. I know I've brought this up before. We've talked about the Shinji cult and its connection, having an organization located in Wuhan they scrubbed from the internet, being connected to the mass case outbreaks in South Korea and in Israel. But apparently, Shinji's out there doing a little bit more. Singapore's onto him. South Korean cult's activities in Singapore mirror its shadowy operations elsewhere. Singapore is now thinking of banning the religion outright and just throwing their ass out of the country. Probably a smart move considering this particular story. Coronavirus in South Korea, mounting anger, rumors over Shinji Church as cases rise. It's a second little bullet point I think you're really going to find fascinating. Anger and mistrust reached a peak when an online post detailed its alleged plans to infiltrate traditional churches to spread the virus. So they're talking about becoming living bio bombs and going to different religious gatherings and giving the gift. Now, why would that be interesting? Well, Pope Francis cancels third day of events amid mysterious illness. Now, I know they've said that this disease originally began back in December, maybe even November. I seem to remember an event that took place, was it January? Let's see if we can look at what happened. Oh, you let me coof on you. You come here, Pope. You come here, Pope. I'm gonna coof on you. Shinji says hello. Oh, here come the coofs. Here come the blessed coofs of the Blessed Father. So Shinji's out there working their magic, doing their thing. It's an amazing side plot. I have to tell you, out of the pandemic, it's a pandemic. Out of the pandemic, watching the Church of Shinji do its thing has been just remarkable. Bio-bombing religions. That's the point we've reached. I don't even know what level of fiction we're on anymore. I can't fucking keep track of it at this point. It doesn't end. Oh, he's gonna get coofed. Holy shit. Gotta watch out for those Shinji guys. They're out there everywhere. Now, I don't know if you've prepped. I don't know if you've run down to the Home Depot in your fucking hazmat level 4 gear and asked the dude if he's got any N95s in stock, but from what I hear, they're selling out pretty much everywhere. I understand scalpers have really jumped in on this shit, buying stock up and then trying to sell it on Amazon or eBay for ridiculous marked up prices. I'm hoping you listened the last time I did this and say, hey, maybe be reasonable. You know, just get a couple of basic things so you're good to go in case anything happens. Well, things have happened. And that's kind of the point we're at right now. We've got 2 local cases of transmission happening in California. And that really was probably predictable. I mean, we saw the San Francisco city government or county government and a couple others declare local states of emergency. And everybody was trying to figure out, why are they doing that? There aren't any local cases. And then mysteriously, a few days later, there are. And then it's followed up immediately with one in Oregon, which is right outside Portland. I believe it was Washington County, Oregon. And then a case in Washington, and the county that happened in, I believe, is just a little north of Seattle. So you've got 3 cases near 3 major population centers. I'm sorry, 4 cases spread out across 3 states near major population centers. Now, how is California going to cope with this? I mean, let's go back to the map here. I mean, it's not greatly detailed, I admit. But what exactly is California going to do? It has a massive homeless population. It's got some fairly populated cities. And I believe the 2 cases that transpired were 90 miles apart, which either means that there are 2 different sources for each of them, or they met and traveled a distance of 90 miles from one another, koofing along the way. So I have a feeling if it's going to kick out anywhere in the United States, if we're going to see an outbreak anywhere in the United States, it's most definitely going to be in California. Why wouldn't it be in California? As for the other states, well, I know there was some worry about New Jersey. I don't know how the testing is going on that. I believe it was New York or New Jersey. I can't remember. There was one state that a cruise ship docked at, and there's video of it. This is like 3 or 4 weeks back, and they just let him off the ship. They didn't give a shit. So who knows what happened with that. 83 cases in New York that are under observation. I believe the governor in California said 8,700 in California under observation. 325 in Washington, 300 some odd in Michigan. There at this point, I believe, are probably over 12,000 people that are in self-isolation, self-quarantine, or under observation. I'd like to remind you, again, as I've said this in previous streams, that there was a case of a woman in Japan who self-quarantined for 14 days, and 3 days out of her quarantine tested positive. So, this is just another fucking example of how unprepared we are. This 14-day quarantine period obviously doesn't work if she's getting out of quarantine and suddenly is testing positive. If one of them can do it, more of them can. And if there are 8,700 of them under self-quarantine or observation or isolation in California, imagine just a few hundred of them doing that. Except they don't get tested 3 days later or 4 days later. They just go out and commingle. They go to a party. They go to a fucking club. They go to the heart of Los Angeles or San Francisco and just coof it up. Oh, I bet you Silicon Valley's shitting itself. All those tech companies, they're all based out there. They must be fucking terrified. They think that work from home shit's gonna coast them through on it, I'm sure. But the reality of being in a lockdown situation probably won't be pleasant. I mean, Italy's only so far had to do it to 11 cities. And I'm sure South Korea, if it keeps spreading like it is, at least in the, Daegu or whatever it is, will probably consider trying to lock down portions of it, or maybe the whole damn thing. I don't know. But it is spreading. You know what? Fuck it. Let's take a look at the list of the names of all the goddamn places that are currently infected. I just want to, well, it's like the Animaniacs, except I can't sing and it's not going to be a great little song. But what I can do is just list off the countries in the last 2 weeks that have been affected, just so you have an idea. Just a minor idea of who's getting pinged here. They should be listed in order of what happened. So you've got North Ireland, Ireland, Luxembourg, Ecuador, Qatar, Monaco, Iceland, Azerbaijan, Mexico, Belarus, New Zealand, Lithuania, Nigeria, San Marino, Netherlands, Estonia, Denmark, Romania, Norway, Georgia, North Macedonia, Pakistan, Greece, Brazil, Algeria, Switzerland, Croatia, Austria, Afghanistan, Lebanon, Egypt, Belgium, Sri Lanka, and then it gets into the others. I think Sri Lanka is actually an older one, and Belgium might be as well. Because now they're starting to finally, or BNO is finally organizing the shit. And of course, Iran. Iran with 593 cases and 43 deaths. Italy with 1,100 cases and 29 deaths. And South Korea with 3,100 cases and 17 deaths. Also, Italy has only 46 recovered and 105 in serious condition. So 29 dead, 105 in serious condition, 46 recovered. South Korea, out of 3,100 people, only has 24 recovered. But somehow Iran, with its magical powers, 123 recovered. I don't know how they're pulling that off. They found the magic formula. I guess we should all be asking them their super secret. Because their kill rate right now with the combined recovered death and then divided would only be 25% mortality rating. So congratulations. But worldwide, we're sitting at 6,700 cases, 107 deaths, and 204 people in serious critical condition. I mean, yesterday, was it South Korea had 818 cases that came out of fucking nowhere? 818! They're going to be breaking 4 digits pretty soon. France is at, was it France that exploded? One of them shot up to 100. Germany's dealing with it. Everybody's dealing with it. Every day now, it's 3 cases here, 4 cases there, 10 cases there. And then in the major centers of Italy, Iran, and South Korea, numerous fucking cases. And that's how you end up with a picture that looks like this. That's how you get there. How long will it take for everybody else? I don't know. There's rumors that Chile's going to get hit next. I wouldn't be surprised. There's certain countries that are just kind of sitting there just waiting to get ass fucked. Looking at you, Slovenia. So they're surrounded on all sides by the koofers. Eventually it's coming for them. I wouldn't. I honestly, God, listening to the headlines and watching this, it's Plague Inc. In fact, if you took every news headline from the last month and put it into a Plague Inc. game, people wouldn't even notice a difference. They would think it was just the normal game because it sounds just like the fucking game. No wonder China banned the sale of it on the Apple Store or the App Store in the whole country. They don't want people flipping shit thinking they're on ultra hard or whatever the fuck it is. What the fuck? The only safe place is going to be out in space, but even then, she's going to be tapping on the window. Tickety, 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 tap. Let me in. I'm just a 2D anime girl. Let me in. Let me in and share the oxygen. Come on. Look, can I just let me in? Oh, I don't know. It's been crazy to watch. Fascinating to watch. But it is the complete opposite of a nothing burger. And anybody telling you it's a nothing burger is handicapped. Look at the map. Look at the map. It's been going on for over a month. This is what you would call a major world event. This will go in a history book. For the economic disruption, for the loss of life, and the health affected of this many nations, for the response and the panic. Oh, wait till the panic buying starts. Wait till they really get freaked out. Wait till, California starts to really have some shit go down. And just see what happens to their Walmarts and their Costcos and all of that shit. I think it was a Costco in Hawaii had to limit people from buying toilet paper because they were buying too much of it. Everybody's starting to get a little nervous, noticing things are starting to go missing a little bit here and there. Nothing catastrophic, but it's starting to catch people's eyes. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you're out and about doing your normal daily thing. You'll probably hear people start to talk about it now because it's impossible to ignore. It's affecting so many different events, so many things that people watch or take part in, sporting events, gatherings, and so forth. They can't ignore it, especially with the Dow and the world markets in general. You can't. There's just no way that you're not aware of what the fuck is going on. So now we get to play the waiting game. Now we got the regional map, and we get to see how it spreads in the U.S. I don't know. Now I was pretty sure it was going to be on a coast. Looks like I was fairly right on that. It was on the west coast. I really expect that the next place it's going to pop up is either going to be the south or the east. So maybe Texas, and maybe like New York or New Jersey. I mean, that's kind of where I'm seeing it going. There's always a chance Florida could get hit, but who fucking knows? Florida man is so coked up and methed up that maybe he's impervious to it. Everybody else, it's a crapshoot. I don't know. Planes are flying all over the country, so you get one koofer from California that wants to visit the Midwest, and boom, there you go. You get a koofer from Texas that wants to take a trip on over to Georgia. There you go. Oh, Las Vegas. Oh, you go. Oh God, all the political shit that's planned for this year is a breeding ground for this shit. That's exactly what happened in Iran. They didn't want to warn people or have them take protective measures because they wanted them to show up and vote. And then cases started showing up everywhere. Oh, wait till that happens here. I don't know. With the distribution around the world of the numerous countries it's in and the different temperate zones that it's showing up in, I don't think the best estimate the CDC gave of it disappearing magically come April is going to happen. And even if it did, what a horrifying thought that this is seasonal? That this abomination of a disease is seasonal is what you're telling me? And an illness that people apparently can't come to terms with defining properly. Does it reinfect you or not? Does it stay in your system or not? Are people more prone to having it go dormant in them or not? Why does it attack your body differently when it pops up the second time? And the third time? What about infertility? All these kids that are getting it, let's say, you're 19, you're 20, you're 30, whatever. Well, is infertility going to be a risk? Sure, it's not going to kill you, but they've already said that that's a risk that they're ascertaining. So it kills the old men, and it makes the young men infertile. What a great biological weapon. And I also love how that one narrative is finally dead. Remember, it was the Wuhan wet market. Everybody, good, they wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Oh, and somebody ate bat soup, which is a joke, and everybody knew it was bullshit. And finally, even China itself is admitting it's bullshit. In fact, they had a call into the WHO where a Chinese journalist was like, well, hey, are we sure that another country didn't bring it in? So now even China's trying to use the it's a biological weapon angle, but they're trying to blame it on somebody else. So I don't know who they're going to go with. Maybe they'll do what the Filipino Senate did and say it's all Bill Gates' fault. But these are interesting times. And this is probably some of the most fascinating shit I've watched transpire in real time. Just watching countries that are smug as fucking arrogant about not having to worry about it suddenly get some pants-shitting terror fall over them is amazing. And it keeps repeatedly happening. South Korea, poor South Korea, home of the Shinji cult, really is getting nailed. And everybody else is just getting slapped around. There was a story from the Brisbane Times, I believe, 2 days ago, talking about how Australia had a fighting chance because they didn't trust the World Health Organization, because the World Health Organization was beholden to China, that they were holding the purse strings and they couldn't trust what they said. They needed to come up with their own plan independently, which I think is, honest to God, the truth. I wouldn't trust the WHO either. I don't trust our boy Teddy one little bit. Mr. Let's cover up those cholera epidemics in Africa so I can get that position at that fancy international organization. So what is it? 28th to 29th. The very end of February is when we finally get local transmission and the first on-soil U.S. death. So there you go. Where's it going to be in a week or two? Who knows? Are there going to be more cases popping up? Absolutely. I believe the FDA and CDC are now letting people get tested. California had to fight to get the first one tested. I believe Washington had a similar situation because they didn't fit the criteria the CDC wanted. But now that they've been proven to be idiots for having that criteria and being so stringent with it, now they've fast-tracked other labs to start handling it and doing it. Will the tests work? Who knows? I mean, the fucking thing fails even when it's a good test 30 to 50% of the time. And then I guess apparently half the time they're bad tests to begin with. So can you trust any result you get? I don't know. God, I'd love for some experts to really sit down and make sense of this shit. Create like a paper pipeline of the research of every nation and funnel it together so you can cross-check everything that everybody's come to. Start analyzing statistically the different conclusions and try to come up with some commonalities to see where to go with rather than pissing in each other's faces because it's not a high enough standard. You know, you have people quoting the R naught factor from China saying that it's good. And yet if you read the paper from Los Alamos, they say that the initial R naught was bullshit. That they think it wasn't 2.2 to 2.6, but more like 3.7 to 6.6. And an R naught of 6, by the way, is fucking smallpox, which is a super fun disease, nice and spreadable. So you can't even get an accurate number on that. Now, sure, it's going to vary if it's a metropolitan area compared to the countryside, right? But there's got to be somebody has to start focusing on this shit and getting some solid stuff together, because it's like every week there's some new twist to this thing. All right, Corona-chan is a crafty girl. All right, she's a smart one. She's not like Ebola-chan. All right, she's not going to kill her hosts off so quickly she can't get around. She's not going to pull that mirror shit or that SARS shit. All right, she wants to get in there, get deep in there, spread herself around a little bit, maybe crush your testicles, make your heart explode, and scar your lungs a little bit before she starts doing her damage. A crafty, crafty girl. You need to keep your eye on her. So I'd love for somebody to make sense of what the fuck is going on, in particular with this disease. I mean, I'll tell you, Chad, I like my balls, and I like to keep them. All right, I like to keep them functional. All right, I don't want to get this fucking thing, have a koofing fit for a week and a half, and then find out my boys don't work anymore. So let's make that a fucking priority first, and then work our way backwards to the heart attack and lung scarring shit. Oh, fuck. Yes, Chet, she is a naughty girl. You're correct. Yeah, and then there was that confusion too because there was apparently I don't know this, but there's apparently difference between ACE double I and ACE2, and people were confusing them on how it would affect. Is it racially specific? Is it specific to certain kinds of tissue and organs? God, there's so much shit that comes up out about this thing from so many different sources, from the Lancet to Los Alamos to different universities to different hospitals, and everybody's got their own hot fucking take, and they're all getting different results somehow, and I don't know how the fuck that's possible. And I just don't trust the World Health Organization, and my faith in the CDC is shaken. I thought the American response in the very beginning was really nice and solid. We're going to set up quarantine bases in 15 areas so we can get people from overseas into an area that's secure. We're gonna do the testing ourselves, and yet here we find ourselves in a situation where the Japanese, the South Koreans, the Israelis, the Chinese, and the Italians have tested more fucking people than the U.S. has. How is that possible? How is the CDC tested 400 fucking people and everybody else is up into the four digits? What the fuck is going on? It makes zero sense. there's no logical sense. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's mutating, somebody in chat says. I don't know if it'd be mutating awfully fucking fast to be pulling that shit off. Where it's this many different results in this many different areas. I don't know. Maybe it is. This thing is like a jack of all trades, so maybe it's just maybe somebody made a real life version of some monstrosity from Plague Inc. and unleashed it on the world. I don't know. Whoever that mad scientist is really broke the bank with this shit. Somebody said the UK has tested 7,000. So there you go. That's another country. So America, 400 people. United Kingdom, 7,000. South Koreans, 50,000. Japanese, I believe, are in the thousands. Italians are in the thousands. Israelis, I'm almost certain they've tested more than 400 people. It is in San Antonio? Yeah, so the Americans are doing their numbers in a really weird way. There are what they call, I don't even know how the fuck this works exactly, but we've got our evacuees from the Diamond Princess, that are one category of infected. People we've taken from China and Japan that weren't on the ship are another group. And then the American infected. So you got like three different running numbers. So when they tell you, oh, we've only got 60, or we've only got 22 infected, no, we've got 60. All right, if you add them all together, there are about 60 in the United States. Some are in Texas. Those are evacuees from the Diamond Princess, and I believe one from a Japanese hospital or maybe from somewhere in China. And then you've got people in, Omaha at that really fancy Ebola facility. Those are evacuees as well. You've got other evacuees in California. And this is what the fight was earlier with Costa Mesa in California and then wherever it was in Alabama. They wanted to bring evacuees there, and they said, fuck that, we don't want them. So altogether, when you add them all up, 60 cases of it, and then you've got a bunch of people under observation, self-isolation, and self-quarantine. But I'd love to have some real, hard numbers where we don't make 19 different categories and pull the Chinese bullshit of, well, this is category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and when we split the numbers up like that, it looks less serious. How about just straight numbers? How many do you suspect, including all the quarantine, isolation, observation? And then how many confirmed? And then fuck where they came from. But just how many in the United States that are confirmed? Because that difference between 22 and 60 is very bizarre. It's very weird. Yes, Chet. Koofers rise up. A few hail to Nurgles. Somebody said WrestleMania is happening in April in Tampa. Well, that's brilliant. I'm sure that won't go badly. Yes, as far as I understand, Dick Pound, which is a real name, a member of the International Olympic Committee, voiced some concern about the Olympics, but apparently they're going to go ahead as scheduled. I guess WrestleMania is going to go ahead as scheduled. We'll have to see. Maybe if it spreads more in the United States, that won't happen. But a great breeding ground. I mean, Carnival in Brazil. Um, what is it? Mardi Gras is another a great hot spot in the U.S. Yeah, it's just nightmare scenario. Just the time of year, the amount of shit coming up. If it doesn't burn itself out in a month, it's not going to be great. Not going to be good times ahead. Oh, it feels good to get that out. Yeah, I watched that press conference. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I found one of the funnier questions from the Trump conference earlier when he was talking about potential border closings, who we're going to do, Iran, Italy, South Korea, blocking off travel makes sense. And then he said, we're considering closing the southern border. And I must have been somebody who worked for Telemundo. She kind of had like a Spanish accent. Asked him or said to him basically, why would you close the southern border? Mexico has less cases than you. Yeah, I guess honestly that's true. If anything, Mexico should shut their northern border to protect themselves because right now Americans are more contagious. We've got we've got cases in Texas and in California. Mexico needs to shut that border down and secure itself. That's some of the funniest shit I heard. I don't think he found the humor in it, but I did. Yes, Chad. His name is Dick Pound, and he works for the International Olympic Committee, which is amazing. Is everyone dead? No, not everyone's dead yet. No, they're they're still kicking. Actually, yes, I do believe it was a FEMA camp location in Alabama they wanted to put people in. I'm not even making that up. Yeah, I can check on that. Let me check on that. Make Alex Jones pop a vein. Let's see where that was. Okay, this is from CBS 42. Oh, don't autoplay videos on me. I hate it. Ugh, fuck you, Slumberland. Okay, Calhoun County officials expect cruise ship passengers who test positive for the coronavirus to arrive Wednesday to the FEMA Center in Anniston. Yeah, they wanted to send them to a FEMA camp Anniston, Alabama. That's where they were going to be housing them. I'm sure Alex Jones is literally bouncing off the fucking walls right now at the mere mention of that. Put him in the FEMA coffins. Oh yeah, it sounds like fun, doesn't it? Everybody wants to take a trip on down to the FEMA camps. I'm sure that'd be it's like Disney World. It's Disney World for the sick. I'm sure it's a joyous fucking occasion at the FEMA camps. Let them go. No, Alabama fought pretty hard not to let them in. They didn't want any fucking part of that shit. Yes, we are going to have our own coof camps. That is correct, Chad. The coof camps they're coming. The coof camps are coming. That is correct. Oh, usually I thought this would be like, oh, I'll do a stream maybe like once a week, because then you can kind of compile all the shit that's going on. But it's spreading so quickly, especially the last 2 weeks. It's ridiculous. If you blink, you miss it. I mean, every day it's at least three countries. Sometimes getting up of like 10. The thought of this popping up everywhere like that, it's kind of fucked up. In Nigeria, I think it was an Italian tourist, and I think he tried to run away from the hospital ward. I think he tried to abscond and get away from Nigerian quarantine. I wish I had that article. I don't have that in front of me, but if you look it up, it's pretty good. It's pretty good shit. Before I do any super chats, let me just check one last thing. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna check BNO because for all I know, during the time that I've talked, some other fucking thing has happened. Somebody's gotten infected. Some other catastrophe has befallen the world. Let's see. Okay, it looks like Washington did their press conference. Let's see what the details are. CDC Washington report of the first COVID death. Okay. The Centers of Disease Control and Prevention and public health officials in the state of Washington have reported 3 hospitalized patients who have tested presumptive positive for COVID-19, including the patient who died. 2 of the patients are from long-term care facilities, where one is a healthy care worker. Additional residents and staff at the the long care the facility have not yet been tested or are reportedly either ill with symptoms or hospitalized of an unknown cause. The patient who died was a male in his 50s being treated at the same hospital. He was not a resident at the healthcare facility, though. Okay, so what? So 2 of the patients are from a long-term healthcare facility where one... Okay, oh, I see what it is. So a nurse at a healthcare facility, so an old age home. So do they have 3 community cases in Washington? Is that what they're saying? So they have a healthcare worker that's doing okay, and then a patient of theirs that's bad. And then the guy that died wasn't at the same place. He was not a resident. CDC erroneously identified the patient as female in a briefing earlier today with the president and vice president. While there's an ongoing investigation, the source of these infections are currently unknown. Circumstances suggest person-to-person spread in the community. There you go. So that's your breaking news for the day, folks. It's not just so it's 2 cases in California, 1 in Oregon, and this would be 4 in Washington. The kid from yesterday, the healthcare worker, and the old man in the old age home today, and the one that died. So 4 community spread cases in Washington state. Let's see what else it says. Oh, CDC is sending a team of experts. Well, that puts me at ease. We all know they're experts are such fucking geniuses with the way things have been going up until this point. We recognize that this is a difficult time. We're facing a historic public health challenge. We continue to respond to COVID-19 in an aggressive way to contain and blunt the threat of the virus. While we still hope for the best, we continue to prepare for the virus to become... Okay, while we hope for the best... These 3 cases bring the total COVID-19 detected in the U.S. to 22. But they're community spread, so wouldn't it be more than that? God, I don't know what's going on with their fucking numbers. All right, well, there you go. There you go. It's cat's out of the bag. You know, if it's an old age home, fuck, that's the worst place for it to be. I mean, everybody keeps saying, oh, it just kills the old people. Well, it's going to be a nightmare in that place, I'll tell you that much. I'm going to guess the nurse got it and gave it to the patient. If the patient's already in the old age home, they're probably not going out and partying every night. So every patient she interacted with is at risk now. Oh, what a nightmare. What an absolute fucking shit show of a nightmare. Oh, is the stream dropping? I should be refreshing. Mic keeps dying. Okay, I'm not sure why my mic is dying on you guys. Sorry. looks like they're coming for me. The Koofers are coming to get me, guys. Audio cut out. It should be fine. I'm showing a full bar right now. Check the audio on the stream. They're probably not going out. No, yeah, it's coming through when I listen. Just F5 should be doing it. Yeah, just refresh should work. Maybe the Lemon Emperor sent one of his tech ninjas to take me out. I don't know. It's a potentiality. Something that could possibly happen. But yeah, sum up, it looks like the cases in Washington are now up to 4 potential community spread cases outside of the 1 identified yesterday, 3 today. 1 includes a death, and 2 include people that were located in an old age home. 2 in California, 1 in Oregon, which would bring the total, I mean, if I'm reading that right, would bring the total to 7 local community person-to-person transmissions of unknown origin. Oh, yeah, Seattle and Portland are fucked, aren't they? You know, I thought it was going to be California first, maybe like LA or San Francisco, but maybe Portland and Seattle are going to be the first ones to get bent over and fucked in their ass. Not fun times ahead. All right, well, I've got, where is it there? No, is that right? There we go. I've got a list of super chats to go through. I'll go through those. end the stream here before more breaking news comes out and more people get sick and die. I don't know. I'll put the community map back up. Leave it on that one. Maybe I'll start doing like a little number tally in each state as it rises and gets confirmed. But yeah, it's 2 in California, 1 in Oregon, and 4 in Washington. We'll see who gets hit next. Chances are probably New Jersey or New York, but who knows? This fucking thing, who knows? It could be anywhere. Now that the CDC and FDA have allowed more testing, expect to hear more cases. And once you start seeing videos of Americans getting really sick, or God forbid somebody dying in the street, like was happening in China, then you're going to see some shit. Then you're going to see some real panic. And no amount of news conferences with people saying it's just the flu, bro, is going to calm people down. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. Well, I guess it's just a matter of time. Maybe April comes and it does get wiped out, but it doesn't look like it's going to. All I know is I'm all prepped. I'm all ready. I already went to, where's my amazing prep picture? I already went to Home Depot. I did that a month ago. I'm ready. I got my bunker built. I got my hazmat suit. I'm ready for Corona Chan. I wish you all the best of luck. But we'll jump into that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm sure it'll be fucking fun with the thought of this shit in the back of your head for the rest of the rest of the weekend. Good stuff. Good times. Looking forward to that market opening on Monday. I'm sure it's going to be good news for everybody. All right, let's see. Where are we here? Become a goat. Check out the back of a new 2020 U.S. quarter. I don't have any handy, so I wouldn't be able to do that right now, but I guess I'll take a look if I get a chance. From Good Day Lads. A girl in my class was on that cruise ship and is now in the hospital being tested for the Wu flu. That sounds like you're straight up fucked, bro. Sounds like bad times ahead for you. From Errant Vice. Hey, Jim. To add one of the characters based off of... Hey, Jim. To add on to the character based off of you in my work, he's a sun elf who hosts a radio show after being released from the quarantine after contracting Wu flu after going full Howard Beale in 3889. Sounds good. Mario Kart 13. God personally infected Commie Pope through Italy. From Green Hair. I lost my job last month just before the Chinese expats were expected to return from the Lunar New Year celebrations. I consider myself lucky. You might have dodged a bullet on that one. From Colin Archer. Last week my mom's colleague was sent to the hospital with pneumonia after having a fever for a few days. She's still there. Guys, stay safe and prep. You know, the weird thing about this is there's so many symptoms associated with it if you're not one of the asymptomatic people. But the two big ones seem to be, well, the three big ones seem to be a really distinct dry cough, a high fever, and then a viral pneumonia. So hopefully she makes it through. From Mahans, if you made a pandemic movie with just the flu and fake numbers, no one would have believed you. Can you imagine if the Umbrella Corporation was not in a fictional universe? I can imagine. It seems like we're in it right now. From Op4, won a $100 bet with my dad over an American dying before March. Figured you should get a cut for spreading the word and turning me into a flu-woo. Well, I'm sure your dad is nice and pissed. You should double or nothing. There'll be another dead one by the before April. From Peggery Sigi, I live in King County, and my masks are coming in a couple of days. Pray for me, Jimmy. Well, I guess better late than never. Hopefully they're not sent from Wuhan, China. From Rogue Internet Man, please come back home, Jim. You left her for cigarettes and never returned. I miss you, Dad. Daddy's got to live in the bunker now. I'm sorry. There's only room for Daddy. From Primus Chaplain F. Gosuch. I butchered your name, I'm sure. One of the people from the Michigan quarantine walked into my clinic in Virginia hacking up their lungs. Pray for me, Jimbo. Oh, shit. From Aureus Rufacali, if the Pope has it, that was our last Pope. From Oipot Stiven, it's coming. I'm gonna coof. From Defter Tuna, greetings from Texas, Jimbo. Gotta say those Wu flu classes in San Antonio have got me really nervous now. From Veggie Bat, I made a $100 deal with my brother, in which he bets that the Wu flu won't be a global pandemic. How can I convince my idiot younger brother to take this seriously? We should remind him that the World Bank has something called a pandemic bond that pays out dividends until July, I believe. unless it is officially declared a pandemic, and then they get called for, what is it, $500 million? And who's working with the World Health Organization directly on this? Oh, the World Bank. Now, I wonder why they won't declare it a fucking pandemic. From Overman, Jim, please say, Pogri eats a whole bag of dicks. From 2% Right, this has been a plot by Jim using Jade to start a world-ending disease to avoid having to make a new Kangs video. From Oipot Stive, and hey, Jim, I heard that McDonald's kill more people, so trust the plan. Follow the rabbit. Chase the rabbit. Hoops in August. Morning Star Sun. 4 + 8 = 9. The letter J follows the letter Q. Trust the plan. From Fuzu how? I'm not sure how to say that. Can you say, don't step up to a man, midget? Clay Pigeon 162. When Corona-chan had her way with us, will Hampshire inherit the earth? Yes, Hampshire will be safe. Under the water, protected from all of this. From 1776 May. Hey, Jim, can't catch the stream, so tell your buddy Hal to put the bottle down and archive it. Also, did you hear RE3 comes with a used mask? I hope they're sent directly from China. Add that authentic touch. From Mr. Curry. I miss your old theme song. Made me feel cozy. From moderator Marcy. Hey there, Jim. Who knew that the world could end? Damn. Due to a cute anime girl and Shinji. I hate Shinji. I think we all fucking hate Shinji, to be honest. Moderator Marcy. Shinji is the worst character ever created, and it's fitting the cult that's spreading this worships him. From LR, in January, Mexico's 60-year-old boomer leftist president took the budget from public health to sponsor his social programs. He says the coronavirus is not that dangerous. Senor Jim, Abra Semi Tango Medo? I don't, Donde es Pablo? I can't do the other language. I can barely speak English. You're asking me to say other stuff, and it's going to come out wrong. From Newsman 2, reminder to everyone to look after your parents and grandparents. You'll miss them when they're gone. Very true. From Castizo, as an antisocial NEET with no life or friends, bring on the quarantines. I've been training my whole life for this. From Kirkland Signature, being black is a disability. From the Cockmaster, all hail Lord Nurgle and his princess Corona-chan. Metacor's Ludicorn Archives, considering how now they are closing down the churches because of the coofs. If we're still going with our 10 plagues of Egypt analogy, does that mean that God too is afraid of his creation? Well, let's see. Xi Jinping declared himself God, said he was going to rewrite the 10 Commandments, said he was going to rewrite the Bible and the Quran, and then put a bunch of Muslims in concentration camps. So I'm not sure which deity is pissed, but now we've got a plague of locusts heading in there. Sure does seem like Old Testament stuff, though, doesn't it? I'm not sure what's next. Is it rivers of blood? Doesn't the sky go dark for 3 days? Like scorpions with human faces and shit? There's a lot of... maybe I'm mixing up my Revelation with my 10 Plagues of Egypt. But people are going to start painting blood on their door at the rate things are going in China. Per Emersland. Hey, Jim, can you give me an awoo for my man Salvo? Awoo! From Christian Soto, do you think actual highway robbery will become a thing again next month? Will I need a coach gun like it's 1820? I don't think it'll get that crazy, but I do think people are going to panic if it gets worse. Ozymandias, stop rying about China. No one's raffing Reddit Go. From Ray121, hey Jim and fam. There's already a run on masks and gloves. It's only a matter of time for the rest. Get food, water, medical supplies, and over-the-counter meds while you can. Good luck and happy landings. From Crichton, appreciate you streaming today. Hungover and literally pissed the bed. Well, I guess you know how you're really hungover then. From Liam Johnson, buy CPHI when it dips to the mid-40s. From Sir Sean 63, Koofers rise up. Josh the Remover, Jim, I work at a Harbor Freight, and we're totally sold out of respirators. Countless people have come in or called us asking for them. It's insane. You know, I can imagine it. I think people are kind of on the edges right now, kind of collecting what they can. You've got the really early adopters. Well, no, first you have the preppers, the people that have just been waiting for a boogaloo to happen, right? They're waiting for shit to hit the fan for like decades. So those motherfuckers, they've got like their own Vault-Tec vault. All right, so they don't even need to really buy anything. That's like your first level. Then you got the people that just started, they paid attention to this, and they're like, oh my God, maybe it really is shit going down. I'm gonna follow what the preppers do, and very quietly go out and get my shit. Then you got the next level after that, which is kind of mid tier, which is where we are right now, where people are a little more aware. They're starting to go out and get the stuff they think they need, but they're already finding shortages. Next, we're waiting for the panic level. That's when shit gets really bad and people start rushing stores to fight over stuff. It's like Black Friday every day for weeks. I'm sure World Star Hip Hop is going to have the most amazing videos for us to watch. Live Leak and World Star Hip Hop are going to get the best content they've ever had when it finally pops off. From Honky Kong, better dead than red, Koof Koof. From Snow J, yesterday an old Italian lady asked me to pray for Italy. I told her I only pray for Japan and South Korea because of lewds. Told her to choke on a pasta and left. From Ninja Work 111, secret, November India Golf Golf Echo Romeo Sierra. Oh, that's secret codes. I think that means good luck. Well wishes. From Dr. Spaghetti, I'd say get some takeout with my money, but at this point, eating anything you don't cook yourself is risking every disease imaginable. Also, lull at the papists. From White Pot Stiven, can't stop koofing in the station. Eat bats and lock yourself in basement. Choose not to wear any protection. Distance goofing gets my satisfaction. From Pompey Corner, Bill Mitchell got this so wrong, he'll be selling parcels of his smegma at the local bakery. Hashtag new career. Thanks for the sweet nectar, Jim. From Yaima, excluding China and Best Korea, what country will close their borders completely? Didn't Mongolia? I'm pretty sure they did. I know they closed it with China. I think they've also closed it with Russia, but I'm not 100% sure. From Timothy Reaper, did you see our boy Eugene arguing with Richard Dawkins? He said we turned buffalo into cows. See the first few minutes of Teal Deer's video on eugenics. I'm sure it's fascinating, but no, I haven't watched their argument yet. From Giga Uwu, 3 cases have now been found in Denmark. Authorities have said it's nothing to worry about. What should I do, Jim? When they tell you not to worry, that's the time you should start worrying. From Viking Insane, the Donald did not kill itself. From Vokun Do Dinuk, Napalm China, Daddy Jimbo. From Wolfbane, Commies Coof first. For Richard Murphy, George Bush doesn't care about black people. From Jason Moore, hey Jim, the CDC is now strongly cautioning against travel outside of the U.S. A little too late to say that now. Here's some money for your shelter and supplies while hiding from the virus. Well, I'm going to. I'm just gonna. I got some board games. I got me some books. Like I'm nice and set to relax in my bunker. Play some Gloomhaven, right? Read some Warhammer and shit, and just wait for it to just burn itself through everything. From Psycho, I live on the border with North Italy and Switzerland. Yet despite all 15 infections in Switzerland that all came from Italy, my region went from 1 to 0. I left SC last stream since that one was in my city. From Kret Kensai, Wendy's was ahead of its time with the slogan, "Where's the beef?" From Eduardo Ramirez, what is the Koof Gang? We are the Sniffle Squad, but is a short abbreviation. You can either say, 1, I won't get offended. Sweetie Squad won't get offended. From Whiteoid, everybody was kung flu fighting. The Koofs were fast as lightning. Krona-chan was a little too frightening, and they died with perfect timing. Woo-hoo, hoo, 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 Koof, woo-hoo, hoo, 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 Koof. From Errant Vice, James Drake from Union Bridge is gay. From Meows and Cowboy, hey Jim, what do you think of people cosplaying as you at conventions? Well, I would probably highly suggest you don't go to cosplaying conventions as anybody at the moment. Probably try to avoid that for like a month or two to see how things play out. From //.-121, oh, me so horny, infect you long time. The Packard Goose, well, if I had plenty of chances to get out of Cali, it looks like my laziness will be the death of me. Exterminatus on the West Coast when? Well, at the rate things seem to be going, probably 4 weeks. From Cameron Mead, Washington local here. I work in the biggest mall in King County. How dead am I? Probably fairly dead. Slate Gamer, Yo Jim, just completed my permit to carry course in Minnesota, getting a Cal Tech PMR 30 round 22 I respect your work, and if we ever meet in real life, I'm buying you a Corona. Cheers to my favorite weatherman. Well, best of luck and stay safe out there. Don't trust the infected. They lie. From Point Curation, I cashed out of my company stock early this week. It's dropping like a rock. I prefer my investment into Corona Prep. I'm glad you were able to pull out before it sunk. From Brock Birch, Skid Row is going to look like a scene from Street Trash after Corona Chan is done running a train on Hobo Central. From Villy, I travel to Kenya about once a year. Pretty sure it reaches there soon. Hopefully COVID won't screw up my travel plans. From 113657, sell low, buy high. This guy's a smart one. From Prophet Muhammad, it's going to get really interesting when America hits the Chinese response and jobs grind to a standstill. A lot of redneck dreams will come true when first responders and prisons stop operating. Travis travels the world. Jim, do a stream with Low Y86 and Serpenta. Now, are those the two dudes that did the motorcycle trips and shit across China? Or am I thinking adventures? There's like a channel that there are three channels. One that they kind of use together, and then two they have separately, where they'd go on like motorcycle trips and shit and check out buildings and locations. And I think those are the guys. I'd like to do it, but I'm almost certain they have no idea who the fuck I am. From Goober Gabber, the coronavirus is spreading because it's public property. It came from communist China after all. From Crappy Post, remember when I said everything's fine here in Italy? I'd like to retract my statement. The markets are empty. Oh well, more food for me. Well, always look at the bright side. From Baxman343, finally bought a respirator with a P100 filter. Here's hoping Georgia doesn't get slammed. Cheers. From Crabtastic, hope you get enough cartons of cigarettes for your bunker. That is true. I'm going to need an awful lot. From Drew McTighe, don't forget to buy bullets. You may need them to defend your Jim Baker buckets of cheeseburgers. Actually, I went for the Jim Baker Apocalypse cheese buckets because I want at least 20 gallons of pure liquid burning hot cheddar that I can keep shelf stable for 80 years. From Castizo, nope, not reading this. It's too offensive. From Voco Do Dinko, destroy America, China. There can only be one, the true America. From Psych66, Jim, did you secretly marry Jade and not tell us? Well, if I secretly did, why would I tell you now? From Jake Sexton, Home Depot sold out in my city. Groups of people bought them out and are selling them on Amazon at 10 times the markup, apparently. Yeah, again, I've heard stories all week about this. I haven't really gone on Amazon and eBay to check if people are gouging the shit out of each other. But from what I hear, they're trying to sell something that should be like $5 or $10 for 100. They're really trying to twist arms on that shit. Oops, let me shit out of here. Okay. From Will Ross, please pull chat. Super Koof Day or Koofer Tuesday. March 3rd is going to be lit. Line up today. All right, chat. You heard the man. He'd like to know. Are we going to call it Super Koof Day or Koofer Tuesday? March 3rd, when everybody lines up to give the gift to one another. Oh yeah, that's going to be a really awful idea, isn't it? I personally, I'm thinking I like Super Koof Day, but that might just be my bias. I'll give chat a chance to catch up. I don't know how long the delay on the stream is. I'll wait till I see people in chat actually answering it before I move on. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, Ross, I don't think they care. I think they want to see bodies hit the ground. I don't think they care what you call it. Call it whatever you like. Oh, they're liking Koofer Tuesday. Oh, okay, I guess I'm outnumbered on this one. From Aquarius Liberia, right about now I'm really wishing I didn't work for the USPS. Yeah, I'm sure that's a delightful job to have. Caleb Lambright, can you please play Rise and Shine to end us out? From Funky Drawers, hey Jimbo, just picked up a P100. It was hard to find. Apparently stores are shipping everything to China. Shelves are completely bare in my area. From Spiffy Fishface, on a scale of 1 to 10, how screwed is the situation so far? Realistically, I'd say we're like a 6 or a 7, just based on the financial impact, the manufacturing impact, the lack of control on borders and international flights, and the lack of control on domestic travel from infected states to other states. and the apparent ineptness, or it doesn't seem like the people at the top are doing the best that they could be, nor does it seem like they have a real solid game plan, nor does it seem like they have a real in-depth understanding of how this works and what the disease actually is, how long it is, how long quarantine should be. So like a 6 or a 7. From Oipot Stiven, thanks for the thick Corona. Gonna fap while I can. From Aeronautical Ginger, a Persian guy just moved into my office. Am I fucked? Save me, Jim. Well, if he starts koofing, you go up there and you let him koof on you. That's how you end xenophobia. From, how do I even say this? Angstiest Moonstruck, sexy nurse costumes will become rare. Get them while you can. From Zal Vering, I'm not a fan of globalization, but not globalizing the economy because it adds more vectors to pandemics is stupid. We should cancel cities too. Don't get mad at me just because globalization has fucked you directly in your asshole. But that is the realistic end result of what's going on right now. And I think this has a lot to do with shipping stuff overseas, looking for the lowest price instead of keeping it all in country. Sure, you can have some aspects of doing business with other countries and getting products cheap and materials cheap, but when everything is done everywhere else, when the materials are obtained somewhere else and the manufacturing is obtained somewhere else and the packaging and shipping is obtained somewhere else, you really have nobody but yourself to blame when everything falls apart in your fucking face. From Brian Lane, Magic the Gathering has canceled its big Magic Fest tournament in Italy due to Corona chant. Well, there you go. I think that's one of the signs of the apocalypse. From Matthew LaPraireler, guess this is the end, huh? Mike Testa, my birthday's tomorrow. Could you wish me one now? Well, happy birthday, Mike. It's probably your last. From Alberta, the chosen one, Barbarossa, if Comiket 98 is canceled due to Corona Chan, we will truly enter the end times. From Nico War, people who have survived cancer but need meds to live, like my mother with thyroid cancer, need to get as much as they can now. A woo, Papa Jim. From Legato Mari, on the subject of the conventions, Nintendo really lucked out by having a better mechanism to preview games with their Nintendo Direct feeds. Yeah, they were ahead of the curve, weren't they? I mean, they did it for obviously different reasons, but yeah, they're sitting pretty with how they do things. From Logan, hey Jim, there are 2 suspected cases of Corona Chan in my hometown state of Rhode Island. From Corny, if you want to earn some coin, invest into electrostatic sanitation sprayer and start offering services. By the way, hope you get some food for your doggos. From Karn Goes Roar, my friend is doing 2 weeks long work conventions and a week cruise over the next 3 weeks. He keeps saying the virus is a nothing burger. R.I.P. John. From Metacor's Lunicorn Archives, press B to brab the Thoughtbots to death. From Autism Forums, what if we koofed at the Murphy Franklin show? From Topher Griff, can't believe Ubisoft released a deadly global pandemic just to advertise their new expansion for The Division 2 this month. From Moipot Stiven, trust the plan, not the fake news. From Journal 0401, government playing stupid games, can't wait for our prize. From Beguile Me, the Woo Flu is like herpes, the gift that keeps on giving. Also, since when is a 50-year-old considered a senior citizen? Well, according to Bill by the Dip Mitchell, apparently that's old and dead. 50-year-olds should just be buried now, from what he's telling me. You know, it's like that episode of Sliders where they went to reality and Howard Stern was in charge and they just killed all the old people. From Padre Speaks, please do Corona Chan stream with sticks already. The Anarcho Quaker, Jim, one of these drugs in question has to be insulin. It appears some type of global euthanasia is happening. Stay safe and prepare all. From Martin Smoger, Jimmy, we are all going to die. Love you, Jimbo. From Hawaiian Bliat, we have mentally deficient 70 IQ Freemasons running the entire world. We're buggered. From the Torrent Quads, it can't reinfect if it never leaves, like AIDS. Jack Smith, they want it to spread on purpose, Jim. From Joey Sharonford, the age of the boomer is over. What a blessing. From Micah Robinson, stop being so down, Jim. Wu-flu is the fix for Social Security and pensions. Well, I was thinking about that. You know, let's say it infects. It varies depending on who you ask, but the lowest estimate is 40% of the world. One of the higher estimates is 70. Let's just say half. So half of every region that gets infected is going to get it. So, okay, half of America, what is it? Well, 350, so 175 million people are going to get it. And then 2% mortality, 3% mortality. You can kind of pick and choose on that. It's just, you're going to have a lot of dead people. And a lot of dead people, you're going to need to clean a lot of that shit up. And where do they die? It's going to spread more disease. And I don't know. I don't want to clean the shit up. Maybe we can make robots to do it. Little dead drones. We'll call them death drones. Just little robots with Ginsu knives that just hack them up and vacuum up the pieces like a cartoon. Captain Sugar, I live within 30 minutes of all confirmed cases in Washington. R.I.P. From Crypt Knight. From Cali here. Just checked my email today and found 2 messages about corona from my hospital and my apartment complex. Maybe not a nothing burger. Fuck my life. From Banal Vulgarian. Went to Costco in Linwood, Washington. People wearing the wrong type of masks and morons coughing everywhere. Jammed up parking lot. We're doomed, bro. See, what you need to do is you need to get video of that. We need video. If you see that shit, film it and put it up on the internet for everybody to enjoy. From Liliana, praise Corona Chan for removing boomers. From Zola Vering, amount of mass desired during global pandemic is 100 times, if not thousands, the regular supply. It's incredibly obvious why there are shortages. From Little Jimmy, hey Jim, have we been sold down the river? Feels a bit like it, doesn't it? Also from Liliana, Trudeau was in Iran last month. He got it, LMAO. From Gojira, maybe Medicare for all isn't so bad. Sweeping Hamster, quit worshiping daddy government to solve the problem. This is America, not Europe. From Big Guy, Jim, you got to read The Girl Who Owned a City. A disease kills everyone over the age of 12 as children are left to rebuild society and fight in gangs. From Beck's Fire, negligent to the point of deliberate, it seems. Tell me, Jim, who benefits? Well, I'm trying to think who would benefit from everything going tits up like this. Oh, it's a really hard question. Who would benefit the most from it? Clearly, it's Bill Gates. From Oypot Stiven, trust the Koofin Jim. Andrew McMillan. Check out CDC flu season reports. Only 30% of tests come up as flu. Everything else is flu-like disease. Yeah, I believe we talked about that last time on stream. A real coincidence, isn't it? From Malvark777, Mexico will cause Corona Chan to turn unstoppable with an army of Abuelita Marias ready to self-medicate with antibiotics. From Radio Ruin, the Pope knew. From Chingy Bingy, Koof Koof, I got something, Jimbo. Koof Koof, I think it's just the flu. Koof Koof bat soup is tummy yummy. Delicious. From Scott, my dealer died. Can I get a 420? Gonna burn one. Yermpy. Also gonna get enough water to fill a pool. I'm gonna float this one out, boys. Woo. From Jack Smith, the coronavirus will be like a cool summer's breeze compared to what's coming. You'll see. From the Torn Quads, if the Shinji Church made sure to make Israel and the Pope their first targets, they might not be that bad after all. From Point Curation, I'm a little nervous to wear my friend's hazmat suit in public because of the stairs, but it's probably a good idea now. 3M 6800 masks and P100 filters, check them out. From King Kobo 13, why does the Shinji Church sound a lot like Children of the Atom? I guess I can kind of see some similarities. From 113657, are you going to Maddox's funeral in Los Angeles? No. Do you think I would get on a fucking plane to go out to Plagueland? Fuck no. Hey Jim, why don't you go into an airport, fly out to Cali, and then be around a bunch of fucking people that are probably going to get you sick? How about no? How about rule 1 of a potential pandemic is you don't take a plane trip to a plague zone? For Mr. X Death 57, being an EMT in a heavily populated area in New Jersey, nothing but dindus and spocks. I'm scared, bro. Knowing when these animals start koofing, things will go bad. From Howitzer, for 7 hours today, I was at the Paris Agricultural Show, the last day of which was just canceled over the new gathering restrictions. I'm dead, LOL. From Omni X12345, hey Jim, just wanted to say thanks for the years of great vids, and I fucking hate you. This goes for chat too. Don't forget to buy vitamin supplements, especially D. Can't get much sunlight in a bunker. From Jim Bean Brager, you're still broke? Stop buying cigarettes. From Not Zeech, Greatest ally is making a pricey vaccine, goy. Don't worry about corona being so resistant. You don't build an immunity to it like vaccines are supposed to do. Just take the untested vaccine, goy. There has been a lot of talk about vaccines. Israel, the United States, a couple other places. There have been I almost see 8 or 9 different companies that have said, we have a vaccine, and some have even said, we have one ready to go in a couple of weeks. What they don't tell you is that, okay, they first have to put it through trials, which will take 3 months, and then they have to get it mass-produced, which will take another couple months. So even the most optimistic, if somebody lucked out and found the best vaccine ever made that was 100% effective, you're looking at least 5 months before you'd even have a chance at getting it. And that's under the best circumstance. Connor Close, hey Jimbo. I work in GME, graduate management education, and all our industry's tests have been canceled through April in China. From Chad LPN, Vicky, be my post-apocalypse queen or face my hordes. From The Chosen One, I live in California and work in a sporting arena where a lot of foreign Asians attend. Rip me. Gone but not forgotten. Vukan Du Dinuk, never let China live this down because if we do, they'll just do it again later. Satan's Advocate, 3 students in isolation at UC Davis, 1 watched by the CDC, 1 confirmed in Salino County, California, being treated at UCD Medical Center in Sacramento. From the Red Pill Nation, buy military gas masks with NATO filters, a clean suit, reusable painter suit, $13 gloves, disinfectant like Lysol, and make a clean room now. Good luck. From VAWBC Carey, that Death Call Church has branches here in the U.S. They actually have branches all over the place. I think it was 4 streams ago we looked at their locations, which happened to almost 1-to-1 correspond to the initial outbreak areas. Really spooky, actually. From Black 11245, 3 new cases popped up in Michigan. Can't wait to get farted on and die, LOL. Well, we all like to get farted on and die. From Jason vs. Jason 2017, rest and pepperoni, fellow koofers. From Metacor's Lunicorn Archives, in space no one can hear you koof. You know what, that's true. Let me put that picture back up. Where's my in space koofing picture? There we go. From Radio Ruin, how fucked will those astronauts be when there's no one left to bring them food? How fucked will they be when they order food and it turns out to be Chinese? From David Henry Posadas, just to prove I am not racist, I let my Asian dentist work on my teeth. Am I a goner, Jim? Type F for me. Well, hopefully your Asian dentist does what every other dentist does and wore a fucking face mask. You should be all right. From Vokan Do Dinuk, on the bright side, if we survive this, we'll be in the new world, or we'll be the new world Chads. From Beguile Me, I need to scalp my P100 mask. How else am I to make back the 125,000 I lost in the market last week? The fastest market correction ever. The Surgeon General is an asshat. From Mr. Fluga, we got a confirmed case less than an hour ago from where I live. I work near 5 hotels, and we are the first store on the way from the airport, and all the taxi bus drivers shop at our store. From the Red Pill Nation, my aunt is a nurse. A woman, 30-year-old, got it from a cruise ship passenger, traced it to her hair salon. She's now hooked up to a ventilator. She's critical. Yeah, it's... I don't know, man. The shit just seems to be popping up everywhere, doesn't it? From Dango Italiano, it's already in Texas, Jim. Yeah, but those are people that were brought from overseas. It's not local transmission. I'm just focusing on, again, this map. Local transmission. They can't trace it to travel history, and they can't trace it to contact. So it just spontaneously appeared, and they don't know where it came from. And right now, that's just California, Oregon, and Washington. From Axis 1247, I think we'll be okay. We'll 100 of us anyway. And when doing the math, that shit, we're fucked. From Troy Rubert, it's already in Florida, Jim. From Morgan Earp, my MS and HS students are discussing it frequently. Middle school and high school. Yeah, I can imagine. It's going to be a topic of conversation for a while now. From Derp Kablurp, gay and lesbian Mardi Gras held last night in Sydney, AU. 500,000 people estimated to attend. Do you think Corona Chan will pair well with the fuck flu? I think it's going to be a wild old time. And quite a lot of rubles from a name I cannot pronounce with no message. I think that's a sign. Is it time to get in the bunker? Was that the agreed upon sign? Maybe it's time for me to jump in the bunker. From Good Friday. We have 50 people in Louisville in quarantine. Wish us luck. Best of luck. From Nyla Moon. Thanks for the stream, Jim. Here's Apocalypse Money from Sarah H. High schooler attended school with coronavirus. Check your friend's Twitter. From Chingy Bingy. Jimbo, the article title says all on the Iran super secret cure. Iranian cleric thinks applying violet leaf oil to anus can cure coronavirus. That actually is a real article. There was a cleric, a religious leader, that was trying to convince people to let maybe he wanted to do it to them. I don't know. But basically, you got to bend over, take your pants off, and let me lube your asshole up, and we can cure this disease. Which I'm going to guess was a little bit of bullshit. All right, that's how gay sleepovers start. All right, Iran, I know what you're up to. You can't trick me. There's one from Dachshund. Message retracted. We'll never know now. Mike is contentious. Rip to Scion's Entertainment. Just another corona statistic. From Jan in Poland. We have no confirmed cases because doctors turn away people without testing. I'm sure that's going to work out well. From David H. So there's a government program that houses illegal children in South Texas. Is buying more buildings and bringing in medical equipment. One building just happens to be a former hospice center. From Zanich. So, Jim, when do you think this will blow up in a place like Hawaii or Alaska? Well, there was a couple that that tested positive once they got to Japan, and they were vacationing in Hawaii. So I would guess Hawaii is going to get hit before Alaska does. From Daylight, hey, Jim, me and my Blackmore goldfish in Washington are ready, but my little fish needs a name. Big one is Magneric, but I thought I'd let you name the little one. Since I can't think of a name, cheers. You want me to name your little fish? Well, I could name it something horribly inappropriate, but I don't think you're going to want to introduce it as that, will you? I'll call it Magneric. Call it, oh my God, what the fuck was that? GamePro TV from the 90s. There was an actual, the magazine used to have a TV show. And they knew nothing about video games. They just hosted it. And they didn't know anything about comic books either. What did he call it? Because he tried to pronounce Magneto as a name. Magnato. Call it Magnato. After GamePro TV. Call it Magnato. Magneric and Magnato. There you go. From Ryan B. Google image search Big Yoshi. Interesting result. Lazy B. Jonah Wright. A woman running for Congress named some people about Corona Chan and check marks are mad. JC McHandsome Face. Hey, Jim. Have you heard that there may be a beginning of a civil war in Greece? No, actually I haven't. From Deft Motion. Homeless and CA in Washington are solved. Hashtag Trump curse. I hate Yankees. My brother gave me a real bad respiratory infection. Pray for me, chat. From Erdy. What's the song you use in the intro, Jim? I have no idea. You're going to have to look it up. It's just look up Ebola theme song or Corona Chan theme song and you will find it. From Sword and Scale, listening to Jim berate idiots is a good way to spend the end times. DNA Ghost House. I live in New Jersey. Every year we get a ton of people from New York down on vacation. Just do me a favor, Jim, and make sure my epitaph reads Taiwan #1. From Calibri Monocule. I work in a hospital in the U.S. Here's all the money in my bank account as my parting death wish. Well, thank you. From Seraphim Flameheart. Egypt has already been infecting other countries. Dyslexia I have. Washington State. Announcing possible outbreak in nursing home facility with 1/4 of residents exhibiting symptoms. Press F for the boomers. That's probably what we read just earlier. So that's probably the same place that the two local transmissions came from when they announced the death. From Adelaide Reed, bugged infection mechanics. I've got the coronavirus in online leg is melting my lungs quicker than normal. DSP when he gets raw dog by corona. From Nicholas Anderson. Corona Chan is mutating because of the viral load. Flu averages 50,000 units per load, equivalent to 2.5 mutations in a load. Corona Chan has a viral load of 100 million, averaging 5,000 mutations per viral load. So you're saying our girl shoots massive loads. Is that what you're telling us? Is there nothing she can't do? From Trigger, Jim, have you watched Goblin Slayer and what are your thoughts? Yeah, I did watch it. I thought it was good. NYC Soul 17, jokes aside, doesn't this terrify you a bit? It makes me a little worried, yeah. Saber Aaron, forget Las Plagas, the cult of the Koof is the cult of unitology from Dead Space. Unfortunately, just no spite of super technology and just the insanity. From Awesome Dude, college student with spring break in 2 weeks. Don't think I want to come back after. I'll make it memorable then. Nicholas Anderson, viruses mutate every 20,000 replications. From Russ Daddy, most of us are probably going to die. Well, not me since I live in the middle of nowhere, but still good luck out there to my fellow future bandits. From Sabre Aaron, let's all sing It's a Coof World After All. From Slav Supreme, Jim, my mom worked in the hospital system in the 80s and 90s, and she's worried that most mass people are panic buying. Won't even properly protect you. Probably they won't. Don't forget, it's not just aerosolized, if I'm saying that correctly. It's not just the coof spit that's going to get you sick, or the fecal fumes that are going to infect you, but this shit can go through your eyeballs. So you need a face mask. If you've got a mask, you need something to protect your eyes too. From Louis Carril, there are a few cases in Mexico City, and yet there's a massive rave going on this weekend. Pretty sure there's going to be massive numbers after the coofing. From the Mr. Confetti, I went to PAX East. How screwed am I? How many games were shown? Did a lot of people pull out? Actually, I didn't check. I heard that Sony was pulling out of a bunch of shit, and that's about as far as I went into looking into things. From Max Hyde, I hope Corona-chan gets me before I get myself. Coof. From Merge Atroid, my friend isn't Chinese, but he occasionally says $5. Should I just shoot him to be safe? Also, watch Love Live Sunshine. I'd keep my eye on him. He's just waiting to coof on you when you're not looking. From RPG or 90, Simpsons Did It First, Season 4, Episode 21. Ethan W. Jim, what do you think the markup on blow-up dolls will be once the dust settles? Gotta feed the kids, you know. Well, it's a good business plan. I wish you the best of luck. From LUA Coder, the Chinese Red Menace is here. From VAWBC Carey, there's 11 in Texas already in San Antonio, 1 in the Air Force at Lackland Air Force Base. From TV Shane, well, Jim, it could be aliens. We need to get Giorgio A. Tosclas? I don't know this name. I can't pronounce his name on the case. Also, no love for the band Ghost. From Kooky Carl, the Goblin Slayer, Jim, if this is the beginning of the apocalypse, I want you to know you were always one of my favorite people, and you're one of the coolest guys in human history. I'd love to team up with you when shit hits a fan. Well, hopefully we'll meet each other after shit goes down and the cities are burning, and we can live out our post-apocalyptic fantasies and Mad Max the shit out of it. From Neck Dolan, this thing mostly kills old people. Why would the government want to stop it if it targets retirees? Cost reduction for the win. Well, probably because most of the government is old people, unless you want the future president of the United States to be AOC, because she's like the youngest one there. Because this thing would murder almost every senator, representative, the president, the vice president, and everybody on the fucking Supreme Court. From Legato, I did it again. I hate when it does that. It skips on me. Motherfucker. Automatic updating shit. Pissing right in my face. All right. Oh, now I've completely lost my place. How is it they always do this? Okay. All right, there we go. Legato Madi, we don't take kindly to sickness, Chinese folk around here in Bama, especially the brown ones. We got max capacity of melanin problems already. From Elizabeth, so how does it actually spread if you know? Through coughing and sneezing, physical contact, and farts. I'm not kidding. Fecal matter. Not common, but it does. So if somebody like drops their pants and then just lets loose the wettest fart you've ever heard, you're probably fucked. From ETR in Washington, numbers rise every minute. Panic buying is starting a stone's throw away. Got to strafe America. We're all still going to work. Laugh my ass off. We're dead. So think. I was hoping for the Chinese EMP, and all I got was this crappy, slow, rolling virus for the apocalypse. From Colonel Meme. Oh, by the way, the Mardi Gras in Sydney and elsewhere. How many new infected? Because, you know, these woke leftist talking points. Don't be a racist, etc. From 00. Jim, have you been reading the Eminence in Shadow light novel? Spoiler alert, he invents fictional reserve banking. Let's see, that sounds great. I'll check that out. Ecstasy of Thinking. So this TV preacher, actually the only TV preacher we got, said you will be safe from coronavirus if you donate $250. Should I take the deal? Which books for my bunker? Koof from Norway. And you say you have 15 cases. Now, I wouldn't send him $250. I'd rather spend the $250 on books for your bunker to read. And I'd recommend like 40K books, Warhammer books. Those things are, you can get like omnibuses that are 20, $30, and they're like thousands of pages. Really good bang for your buck on that shit. From Russ Daddy, I work in a nursing home kitchen. Are we reconnected now? Have the I think the glow in the darks are after me, chat. I think the glow in the darks are after me. I don't know if how long that cut out for, but it did. They're coming for me. There we go. I see the F's already popping up. Hopefully. Oh, this fucking delay. That's fine. Should be fine. Should be good. Should be good. I think the glow in the dark. Yeah. Okay, we're fine. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, chat. Sometimes my computer just wants to take a shit on me. It doesn't give a fuck. It just decides we're disconnecting you. Deal with it. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. You know, maybe I know what we'll play as our outro song. I think I've got that set up. Yeah, we'll do that one as the outro. Just getting some things ready here, chat, as we're working our way through the last of the super chats. Sorry, I lost my place a little bit there. All right. Exodus Prime. I remembered last month that one of my coworkers' nieces had a strand of coronavirus and said it was treatable. I'm beginning to question the U.S. numbers and how much people have the coronavirus, but with a different strand. Is this corona stranding? Is that the cure, walking around the countryside with packages? Maybe that's how we fight this terrible plague. From Maiden Williams. Hi, Jim. Just want to let you know I went to high school in Bothell with a suspected corona case. Thankfully, I'm not near the area, but my parents are. From Brosna, my man. Dad is an ER doc in Georgia, the state, and has a nurse that came from South Korea who's suspected to have the virus. She came to work while infected. Well, just fucking great. Don't you love it when they show up sick? Always a fucking just great surprise. Dyslexia I have. My dad's homesick with a cough and a fever. He works for a firm that gets contracted to do security for major events around the Midwest. Now I know how the boys from the old Yeller feels. From Uven, just came back from some Army training in California, and now I have a dry cough for about a week. How boned am I? Probably fairly boned. Ducky Zeal, my husband works with a Shinji cult member in Seattle. Please send help. I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully they don't turn him into a sleeper agent. From Max15, thanks for the stream, Jim. Point Curation, thanks for being more credible than Alphabet News. From Sword and Scale, how will I get my beloved Kung Pao chicken? You're going to have to learn to make it on your own. Jeremiah B, knowing humanity, the corona will spread to everyone and make all the males infertile, with the exception of autistics hiding in their basement. And that's how we win. That is how we win. Glow in the dark, needs and those who are antisocial, we all laughed at them. Now they're laughing at us. From Chris Ontaki, woo me up inside, woo me. From Oi Master, one is the coof at PAX in Boston. How effed am I? I'm not sure if there's any report of coof on the ground, but it might be. From Zen Master Me, no more sucky for $5. Armor Fadi, you can buy activated carbon at a pet store in the aquarium section. Good for water filtration, and you can make gas masks from it. Oh, good to know. From Nerdbane, is this a good time to invest in Dogecoin or Yifcoin? Oh, I should have put it in link. That shit was mooning for a while. Dances with Metroids. I work retail in Florida. When should I quit my job to evade the coof troop? Probably when people start dropping dead in the street would be a good time. From Grayson. Going to the Netherlands for study abroad. What should I do? Try to hold your breath for as long as possible. Best of luck. /.-121. Gonna fill my freezer with spunk. From Hefe Bastion. A migrant wave is hitting Greece. Perfect timing. Can't wait for the recession to kick in. And shit to hit the fan. Big time in Europe. GG no re. Sword and Scale Jim. You've cost me about 10 grand in emergency supplies and bullets. Lots of bullets. From Dave Rooms. Hello, Jim. BHX and the girl send their kid to a daycare, but no more info. I'm scared, and my roommate thinks it's lulz. Me sad. Make me happy, boo. Hashtag penis. I don't know how to cheer you up. It's sad times right now. Sad times. From Zard, 19-year-old dead in Washington, coronavirus did it. From Zazius, hey Jim, got the first infected person in Utah being treated in a city not too far away from me. Rip me. From Brandon, Arnold Schwarzenegger is about to doom us even worse, hosting giant international sports festival in Ohio next week. Thousands of people in a convention center, hundreds of them international. Well, that sounds great. From a Gator, bought some stuff when you started streaming. You might have literally saved the lives of my children. I'm going to pass on my 4 or 5-star hat to the boy. Well, glad I could help. From Saber Aaron, stockpile ammo, it's going to become the new currency. Going to learn to make my homemade bullets or two. Also might have to live underground. Metro is the future. From G. Reyes, I got a Din Whirl trip planned beginning of April. How fricked am I? Well, I don't know how fricked you are. Depends where you chose to. If you chose to go to like Greenland, you should be fine. From Iron Wolf Spear, people are panicking in New York City. Saw a fight in Flushings because a Chinese man coughed on the 7 train. Also was called a bigot for wearing masks in my college. From Liliana, I think Trudeau will be hit by the Corona Chan. Mac tonight, Jim, where can I see your streamer upload since Hal is gone? If you just search for Metokur on YouTube, a lot of people re-upload shit, so you should be able to find a copy. From Frank DeTank 1218, worst part of the virus, it's all Donald Trump's fault. Well, I think we need to focus on whose fault it is. It's China's fault. Now, could China somehow conceivably shift the blame of this onto the Shinji cult? I'm willing to accept that. China, if you want to go for it, I'm willing to accept that. If the Chinese government comes out and says, we are innocent, the Shinji cult infiltrated one of our biolabs and turned one of them to release a plague, it's not our fault, it's these fucking Shinji fanatics, I'll accept it. From Ack-Hatton, I've got disposable N95 masks. Will those work, or should I have better masks? I am not the mask expert. I know N99s are better than N95s, and P100s are better than those. And then you've got like military grade shit. But something is most definitely better than nothing, so I'd hold on to them. From New York City Soul 17, kind of wishing I was won those live below zero guys. From Dragon Nakis, first sick in my city, he was at my party, fuck. Saber Aaron, we need a parody, let the Koofers hit the floor. From TV Shane, don't know how to read, perhaps the meth of trans caused the virus to mutate. Maybe the virus change slightly with every person it infects, so different samples are not exactly the same. Thus why there are different results. The Sabin, hey Jim, I just checked MRE prices on Amazon. On December 24th, they were $200. Now they're $480. Good luck. Holy shit. So they've more than doubled in price. Fantastic. From Oswald Mosley 2020, coof for me, baby. Coof. Coof for me, baby. You're my infected coofer, baby. Classical positioning. Hasn't France had a totally independent food system in the country? We all need a system like that in many, many other industries. Well, I would recommend looking into a victory garden, depending on how bad this thing goes. Maybe grow some of your own shit, some herbs, a couple of plants. Help supplement your dietary needs. From Sombre de Avero, Gif du Crackdown. Jim, now that we're all more acquainted with Corona-chan, would you say she's waifu material? Anyway, best of luck to you from Brazil. I would say that she's really knocking it out of the ballpark. All right? Ebola-chan gave it her all. Zika-chan, all the others put in effort. But, Corona-chan's really been just taking the world by storm. From Purple, I'm a faggot zoomer, and I go to a school with way too many Chinese students. Give me some advice, Jim. Well, if you're probably going to be safe. Remember, Bill Mitchell told us only old people die. So you're going to live a long, happy life. From Angry Emu, hey Jim, there's a lot of koofers in my town now. Should I head to the woods before the Charlies are in my neighborhood? Take to the trees, my friend. From Tamara French, Godspeed, Jim, take good care. Red Eyes Blues, Jim, if you're too cheap for the Vive, get Reality OS VR. It's $100. It's cool. Nice resolution. No more difficulty than assembling a new PC. I want a VR stream. Oh, the koofs have got me. From Grayson, guessing I need to freeze my sperm now. Swinging Cod. Ben Howe on Twitter reports PS, BL case and Charlotte. From Dillweed 9001, Jim, check Twitter, Fox News segment I sent you, where Pennsylvania man koofs on his daughter during interview. I saw that. I saw that happen. He coughs repeatedly and then takes her water bottle, drinks it, and gives it back to her. What a dick. From Corey MF and Chainsaw, don't freeze your sperm. Like Automati, I pooped, but what I pooped doesn't look like poop. It looks alive. I wonder if this has anything to do with the PCP I've been eating. Probably has to do with parasites, but best of luck either way. From VZ, upcharge on weed now. From Boopers, reality is officially Dark Souls. From Castizo, hey Jim, why not book a flight to Vancouver, Canada? Dyslexia I have. Israel's vaccine will be sooner. They just pull some kids off the Gaza Strip and test it on them. From Larsil, it's in my town. Press F and remember, I'm gonna coof. From Albert Stoddard, hey, you should make a 5-minute craft video on how you can convert one of your hats into a face mask. Ka-ching. Glow in the dark, Jim, you should train your Asian better. Saw Jade just coofing on all the doorknobs and spitting on the elevator buttons. We could catch something. I will have to discipline her. From Loric Project, Costco near Seattle is full of Asians buying nothing but water and toilet paper. From Corny, if Corona Chan will cause mass infertility, will then the LGBTZPNQ plus ideology become illegal in order to prevent human extinction? I don't know. Depends how many people become infertile. From Rubber Mango, students all across my community college district, including mine in Sacramento, have been exposed. Should I stay home? Also, thank you for the real coof news. I don't know. Honestly, if I was in California, I'd be really sketched out about going to college right now. I might put one of the semesters off and just see how shit plays itself out. But I don't know what to tell you, I guess. From Magino Bear, hey Jim, Texas here. Pretty sure I got corona. California lady moving took a delivery to was coughing and wearing a mask, apologizing profusely. Oh, you're fucked. From Glaucoma, I just had an amazing massage from a beautiful Chinese woman. Rip me. Oh, that happy ending is a final ending, is it? From God Emperor of Duncan, they're not coofing their best. From La Lupi, my roommate's parents work at a hospital in Cali that got it. He's watching their dogs for a week, telling them not to come home. Patriotic Cat, pay a drone to ferry your dead to an incinerator. Captain Autismo, from Base, Alaska, how long do you think AK will last with our hippity hoppity get off my property attitude? Maybe us and the North Koreans can repopulate the earth. Well, we look forward to you fulfilling this duty. From Emperor Crimson, remember lads, fuck. From M. Gry, question is how many heart and lung bypass machines in the USA? When the number of critical exceeds that number, rip 2% death rate and rip all else that needed one before. Yeah, I mean, that is true. They're going to reach surge capacity and they're not going to have enough ventilators to intubate people. And then what if you've got cancer? What if you needed a surgery? Yeah, it's gonna suck for a lot of people, to be honest. Sailor Harry, your advice on where and how to ask for masks from last stream was very helpful. Here's 20 from me. I'm glad it worked out for you. From Isabu, hey Jim, how strange is the reinfection of recently recovered people? That's not something that usually happens, right? Well, it's confusing. I'm not sure why it's happening, or if it's happening, or if the disease just doesn't leave, or maybe it's like the only other comparable thing I can think of is like chickenpox, and then the disease changes, and like I think it lives in your nerve cells and comes out as shingles. So you get chickenpox and it's itchy, but then you get shingles and it's painful. So maybe it's something like that, but I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I lost my place again. Let's see, where were we? From Goof Troop, from San Antonio, got 11 confirmed cases with a total of 90 in quarantine. I guess the only thing we got going is to quarantine anyone from infected cities, countries immediately. From Zex Laster, Jim, how long do you estimate until there's a total breakdown panic in the U.S.? I expect 1 to 2 months at most, until it goes all hell in a handbasket. Well, if it gets bad, it probably is going to get bad in about a month and a half, I'd guess. From Mr. Curie, hey, have you heard of Berserk? Is that anime where the dude gets fucked by the black guy? He's got a really big sword. No, I haven't heard of it. I'll have to check it out. From Mr. This Sucks, let's be real, 7 billion people. Cut out the fat, let's get some numbers down, myself included. From TV Shane, don't have to read. Bit of people from China forcefully returning to work from YouTube. Oh, I'll check it out. They have them at like gunpoint, I wonder? Yes Man 2044, do you relate more to Diogenes or Socrates? I would. Let's see. Aurelius. I like Aurelius because in his entire meditations, he spends like an entire chapter thanking everybody that made him not be a bitch. And I always found that charming. From Mike Testa, Jim, watch High Score Girl. It's a wholesome anime coming of age story about a gamer couple. My 2 cents is, think fecal transplants will cure the coofs. I don't know what happens when you shove the shit of somebody else up your ass, but we'll find out. I guess somebody will try. From Das Pooch, Giorgio Las, whatever, is the ancient alien guys in the I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's totally aliens meme. From Brappy Hour, at a wedding, wasted, have fun while you can. Oh, Wild Deku, I've got a lovely bunch of viruses. They're all floating in a coof, big coof, small coofs, breath of coof, and you're dead. The Wuhan flu is coming for you. That's how our story ends. Sing it with me. From Crystal Morse, first USA citizen is dead in Seattle just a half an hour ago. From Foregone, ports are screwed. That also means thousands of truckers that rely on imports and exports for a multitude of stores. Check your buddy's Twitter. From Prussian Wanderer, guess I should quit my cashier job, right? Oh well, I've got a mask. Rip my nothing burger friends. From Loric Project, my mother decided to go to Europe next month. It looks like I'll have to move out of her basement. From Archive, got a mini trip harem in Swiss Alps. Will last for around 20 years with the current supplies. Slanish protects. From Matt Aquino, H.P. Lovecraft named his cat N-word man. I hate Google censorship. This is the 5th time I tried to send this message. From Caleb Lambright, hey Jim, can you do another art contest? I don't know. Maybe sometime in the future we can give that a shot. If we survive. From Honduras 1, sucks that I work at our local hospital as a housekeeper. My chances to catch coronavirus are insanely high. From an unpronounceable Russian name, I believe. I'm in a grocery store here in Harford County, MD, and there are several people coughing in here. 3 cases confirmed in Maryland, many more to come. From Slip E Easy, my face when all the autists who made Fallout bunkers were right. And finally, Lord Chippy Dip. I'm a translator for the Florida Department of Health. Okeechobee County has reported at least 2 cases. News in Florida doesn't report medical cases. Oh, and I'm CO Club. Did Zoomer versus Boomer meme magic spawn coronavirus? No, I think it's going to kill. It's going to kill them dead, and it's going to take away your testicles. So nobody really won this one. Was it worth the trade? Was it worth the trade getting houses for cheap with your balls being destroyed? I think not. I think maybe the price was a bit too much. Okay, and let's hold on 1 second here. Got an ending song. At least I hope it plays properly. I think you're all going to like it. Just got to get it synced up here. All right, let's see. It's called Coronavirus by Yo Frangle. Apparently somebody did a coronavirus song. We'll go out on that. Oh, last super chat. Editorial Joe. I like the Rampage map we have posted. Will Corona-chan have to defeat California twice? Potentially. We'll have to wait and see. I wish you all the best of luck. Stay safe. Stay away from the koofers. All right? Don't trust the koofers. Just plan ahead. Get some supplies while you can. And pay attention to the news. If you got kids and the schools in your area report cases, keep your kids home for a couple of weeks. Don't send them to fucking school and risk it. If you work in an area where a bunch of people start getting sick, see if you can take some vacation time. Avoid conventions. Stay the fuck away from airports. And best of luck. Best of luck as our post-apocalyptic world begins. We'll see how it plays out. Oh, and also, don't forget that Bill Mitchell is the financial wizard, and always buy the dip. Okay, that's the most important. Buy the dip, every dip that ever happens. Now let's see if I can get this this video synced up here. Where are we? There we go. All right. Have a good one, chat.
Se ha detectado una amenaza.